So what do you call yourself? Welcome to the LaTangela Show.
Hey. Hey, what can I do for you this fine day?
This is your destiny. Hot, hot, hot.
Right now.
Welcome to the LaTangela Show. Come on in and enjoy yourself.
Right now.
We gon' party like no one else. Welcome to the LaTangela Show.
Hi, and welcome back to another episode of the LaTangela Show podcast. You know, it does my heart well to have this time together, especially when I have questions that need answers. So I'm going to start this off for you. Are you in?
We are in.
That's what I'm talking about. Now, for As You Give Day, I love taking these field trips around the globe and hearing all about Jaguar Nation and our stars that talk about the lives and the legacies and even the impact of this beautiful HBCU system that has poured in. And you know, Jaguar Nation, before I even say that we have Dr. Fields and her beautiful mother in the hot seat on the tan line, I know you see the G on her chest. I know you see that gremlin. Hi, Mom. How are you?
I'm okay.
Thank you so much for joining us today. Even when it's a house divided, it's still unity in the system.
Oh,
You
yes.
see? And I'm
Most
looking forward to
definitely.
seeing her around Bayou Classic because I know I could trust her for the tailgate recipe. Look, Dr. Phil's recipe, I know they're not as good as yours. So
No,
that
not
day,
quite.
Grambling very well may have my vote, okay?
Thank you.
Dr. Fields, when it comes to the legacy of Southern University, you and your family, tell me a little bit about the richness.
You know, it is just that. Our family has been a part of Southern University for a number of years. They all, I think, graduated around the 60s. And so during that time, you had all three of my grandmother's children, her male children, were at Southern University, sometimes in between, anywhere between 60 and 65, starting with my Uncle Hall, who was there, and he was in business education. And then my father, who was there, and he was in agriculture. And then their baby brother, Paul Fields, who was there, who is probably the most significant of all of them. He was an engineer at when he graduated from Southern University, graduating in engineering. And the thing about him was the fact that he was a part of the system that heated and cooled the university. So when we saw all of that steam coming up out of the ground, we had
Right.
no idea that he was a part of that and helped to design that system. When I came to Southern in 1985, guess what? It was still in place. So I was like, oh my
Wow.
God, this is like really, really serious. And it's just, you know, how do you even begin to talk about what it looks like now as opposed to when we first started attending, you know, and I'm talking about my siblings and I think
Right.
we feel like we grew up on that campus and we watched it grow as it is now. And sometimes when you go, it's just unbelievable as to the difference that has been made in the number of years and the impact that has been made at that university for students to still be able to grow, thrive, and come out excellent, you know, and be able to give back at some point.
I love that. And you know, Dr. Fields, I have to ask your mom, knowing that her dad and her uncles were there, by the time she and her siblings decided on Southern University, seeing that it was a house divided of HBCUs, how proud of them were you when they made that decision to keep that legacy going?
Mama, she was asking you how proud were you when we decided to go to Southern?
Well, I'm okay. Proud of all of them.
That's right. And you know, it's always a blessing when you see your parents and that they're pouring those seeds and they're nurturing you and seeing all of the things that's coming about when you and your siblings decided to come on the yard. It was a home away from home, but you said it was always a part of the family, whether it was the tailgate, whether it was going there to see some of the family activities. What was it like years later when you finally got there and understood that your roots were there?
It was absolutely amazing because it was almost like they had created this path, and I would have to say it was a road when I got there because everybody knew uh, one of the fields. It was almost like, so are you DQ's daughter? And that's how I became known on campus as being DQ's daughter. So it was like I think Miss Dunn was working still in the dining hall when I got there, and then she said, "Oh yeah, girl, let me tell you about your dad. He used to run the snack shack and all of these things." And so she was giving me all of the background on that. And then they began to tell us how everything worked together because everybody pulled together at that time. If somebody was not having something that they possibly needed, how everybody came together. So when I got to Southern University, I was the only female out of my graduating class that came. And so I had Curtis Tolliver and also Sean Norwood. They were like the people who took care of me because we all graduated together, but we had people already there. Like we had the Powells that were already there and they had already been through there. Farrington Johnson, he played football there for a little while and he was already there. So they had, and I had cousins, the Norwoods, and also my cousin Daryl was in law school there. And so we had a community already in place. And not to mention my cousin Marvin Moore, and Tanya is very active in everything at Southern right now. And so
Right.
we all kind of, just pulled together. It was like being at home all over again. And I did not miss Winsboro, Louisiana at that time because I had a community that was right there. And so it was very exciting. And even up to this day, some of the same people that I mentioned, we all get together and we make sure that these other students who are coming along, that they have the ability to be able to get the things that they need to be successful on that campus, because that's really what it's all about, to make sure that they are able to matriculate, be successful, go out, get a great job, and be able to bring those dollars back into this university so that somebody else will have the opportunity to receive.
And I love the fact that you brought up opportunity. You get here and you realize that they're young adults and they're still finding their way through. They're balancing, and this very well could be the home away from home. So identifying that village, identifying those opportunities, but also having someone there that's going to nurture that path along with them. Someone paid it forward for you to even have someone to say, "I remember your dad at the snack shack. I remember your uncle," and then you see the steam and realize that's something that was paid for you decades beforehand, right? And
Yeah.
now you're repping with that True Blue 1880 society. You're still paying it forward for
Yes.
those students who decide to make Southern University systems a part of their home away from home. Why is it so important that you give now?
It is important because now more than ever, there's question. People are always questioning HBCUs, but now more than ever. And I want everyone to understand that the richness in the culture is where it stands. You can't get this anywhere else.
Right.
You cannot. And I think that Southern takes another step and they do it very, very well. Because once you come over that hump, it's a whole nation over there. And it
Right.
and it is one of those things to where I make people laugh about this all the time. They say, "Oh, y'all had all of these people." I said, "And you know what? A lot of those people never attended that campus, but they always came over the hump. And
Right.
when they came in and they crossed that hump, they felt like they attended that university. And we also made sure that we got some of that revenue off of those individuals that came over there to support us, whether they attended or not. So that was the most important part of all of it, is to make sure that, everyone was giving some kind of way, even if it was a plate at a tailgate when you might have
Yeah.
been hungry and didn't have anything to eat, somebody was passing you some food. That can work when you are in a little crazy place.
Yeah, and it does.
Yes.
And when you talk about give, advocate, and belong, there's somewhere on one of these campuses for everyone.
Oh,
If
yeah.
you're coming for the tailgate, if you're coming for a play, if you're coming for a performance, whatever that looks like, it feels like home. And everyone across the nation, they understand that they're getting the best of the best. We have professors and faculty members that's been there for so long because they love it. and they really love to see their students come back, and they love to see their students' children now attend. When you and your siblings decided to come, tell me a little bit about the educational path for each of you. I'm gonna let you represent for everybody. Roll
Okay.
call, call them
Okay,
by
well,
name and put them on blast.
we can do the roll call. So, of course, I was in early childhood, and that was an experience all by itself.
Uh-huh.
Being able to go and into the schools in Baton Rouge was a little different from Winsboro. So just having that rich diversity and being able to learn, how to navigate. So there was early childhood education, and at that particular time, you could do elementary education as well. So I did both, and so I had the early childhood stamp, and then I had the elementary stamp. And at that time, elementary went through eighth grade. And after I was there, I was the only person that graduated in the month of April 1989. And that was one of those hard times at Southern University. We were kind of crunching down. And so we graduated in April. And that also brought about a different type of culture on that campus, during that time, because although it may have been tight, we were still able to do everything that was necessary for the students to be, everybody did, like at that time, I didn't even understand, or did I know all of the things that were going on behind the scenes.
Right.
But all I knew is I was graduating in April. And so
And ready.
then, and was ready. Okay.
Didn't want anything to hold you back.
No, not at all. And so when I did that, then of course my brother came through, and DQ was very active on campus. He was active in SGA, and he did all kinds of things. And his major was in ag, and so he was in ag econ. So he was able to absolutely link up. We didn't talk a whole lot about the competitions in the arena on campus, but
Uh-huh.
absolutely that would get hot when he would come there when he was growing up with Alvatus Fields and some of the other people that came and competed. Alvatus was in St. Joe, Louisiana, and
Uh-huh.
so he was Alvatus Fields, and of course DQ Fields from Winsboro, Louisiana. That's not very far. But what's ironic about that, Alvatus has a Valerie Fields also, and so when I came to Southern, it was, well, listen, I got treated like an upperclassman because my name was Valerie Fields, because they were confusing us. I was Valerie S and she was Valerie D. We just talked about this probably about 2 weeks ago when she was coming through here from Dallas. And so
Love it, love
and
it.
so if there was something that she didn't really care for, she would say, "Oh, that's that other Valerie."
That's the other one. That's the best mistaken identity, though. It works. It has its perks.
Yes, yes, yes. So it was very interesting. But then we also have Sheila, and Sheila is currently residing in Baton Rouge. She works for East Baton Rouge Parish School District, and she is literacy is her thing. So she has really blossomed and done out, lots of outstanding things, and still doing a lot in the school district. And it is just amazing to see her, how she has been able to navigate. And now when I come to Baton Rouge, it's always Miss Hannah, Miss Hannah, Miss Hannah. Everybody, it's almost like everybody knows who she is. No matter
Right.
where we go, she's going to run into somebody. So that also helps, because she is then able to, put a stamp on some of the students that she has taught and help them to understand how important it is to go to school, after you finish in high school.
Absolutely. And
Mhm.
to be able to see that your family has left this legacy and you're still etching it day by day, why would you encourage others to give? Whether it's through sugiveday.org, 1880 Society, if they got to come up there and get a plate on the tailgate, why is it important?
Yes, it is very important to give, because it's just like it was for me. When I was in school, I remember very vividly one summer, we didn't have enough money for me to live on campus. And so I had some friends from Winsboro, Louisiana,
Mhm.
Angela and Daryl Teets. I stayed with them that summer to be able to go to school, because I wanted to graduate early. And so they allowed me to come and stay. So it is because of individuals who give in other ways other than just money. But it is also important that you give the money as well, because tuition costs in order for students to be able to go to school. They need books, and books are very expensive, and they just need things. Life is just hard right now, and they need other things to be able to manage to do well, because mental health is real as well. And sometimes students get into situations and they may need those extra dollars just to help them move along and know that it is going to be okay, because people can stress about not being able to pay tuition. Because when T.H. Harris Scholarship was not in place and I went down to that gate in the mini dome and they told me that that money was not there, look, I was stressing out because I was like, if I don't get that T.H. Harris Scholarship, I won't be able to finish off my tuition. So, it's when you are able to call someone and say, listen, I'm about $500 or $600 short. Can you help me? And that, that can go a long way. Even if it's $100, that can help lessen that bill. So it doesn't matter. Some people feel that they have to give like thousands of dollars, but you don't have to do that. Just anything that you can set aside, and especially if you can set it up to where you can give annually, that would really make a huge difference, because they know that every single year that money is going to be coming through to be able to help someone that may need that assistance. And these students, they do appreciate it because they have made phone calls. I have received calls from students that are there to say, thank you. I was able to get a book, or I was able to go on some excursion or something that was dealing with their major, so it's important that you give. And it could be we'll take $5. We don't care. Whatever you have that you wish to give, we'll take it.
And even if we start thinking about the small sacrifices that we can make to make a big difference, because the small sacrifices that we make collectively, we truly etch the path for trailblazers of tomorrow.
Oh,
So
yeah.
if we were to give up a refill, we get it done once a month instead of every other week. Maybe if we were to give up that cup of coffee, because coffee is getting expensive out here. And I
Yeah.
know my vice, listen, I'm gonna have to talk about myself on this one. I would ride around the same streets to make sure that the street lights are on and gas is high. But that's my vice. If I were to give up a tank of gas and donate that to the 1880 Society or today for sugiveday.org, think about all of the students that we can help. And sometimes these young adults, or even if they're coming back and they're that non-traditional student and we all need help, it always falls a little short. There's nothing more frustrating than coming back, giving it your all, and you fall a little short because of things outside of your control.
Right.
Jaguar Nation is a family, and now is the time for us to say, hey, cuz, let me hold something.
That's right.
sugiveday.org. Let me hold something, cuz.
That's
Now
right.
you can donate the link. You can send it out as a hashtag or a retweet. We see that this brilliant family, the Fields family, even when it's the mistaken identity of the extended cousins of Fields, they're still representing. Today, I'm going to let you close it out by giving your plea on the sugiveday.org.
So I think that it is very important for everyone to just reach deep down in their pockets, and we know that you're going to find some jewel that is there. So give to the university, give to these students, just give anyway, and we will take any donations. That's like this Grambling State University person that is sitting beside me. We're going to capture some of her dollars too. So even if you're not a graduate from Southern, we want you to give to help these students on this campus. But it is also helping us help others to be great citizens and to be able to matriculate their way into life, and they do it without feeling stressed. So we are very excited to do that, and we will be giving as well.
Thank you so much for
Yeah.
your gifts, your times, your talents, your heart, and Mama, even your sacrifice of sitting through it. Because you know what? That Grambling shirt looking good sitting up there on you, my girl, looking good.
All right.
Thank you so much for joining us today. And you be sure to send the family our love. And
We
I
will.
want you to think of this as an extension of your office. So always feel free to jump in the hot seat on the tan line and tell the world all about the greatness of Jaguar Nation.
Yes, and I will be doing that. And thank you so much for having us on today. We certainly appreciate it.
Anytime. I know you have more work to do, so I'm gonna let you chase the sun or let the sun chase you. But either way, get after it. I love
Okay.
y'all, and there's
Okay.
absolutely nothing you can do about it.
Thank you. We love you too. Take care.